She's out of there. Pop star Rihanna is understandably freaked out. A woman was charged with attempted murder after cops say she shot at Rihanna's Beverly Hills mansion with an assault rifle.
In business, nothing is coincidental, or you would be hearing who's losing money. In all of these situations, it's only the artist that's losing. Somebody makes big money. When these rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew.
The way that they want it, that girl, the way that Rihanna wants to kill me, she's the one who wants to kill me. The way that Rihanna wants to kill me shows that we're not going to show this right now. But this is my heart, Lord, and I am expecting and waiting in that beautiful time for you to show me what you're going to do and how you're going to deliver this promise. It's in my heart and it's in my vitality, and I'm very, very grateful to you.
And 8052, shooting just occurred. Approximately 10 shots heard, and then an unknown person shouting code 3 incident 1920 RV8009, semi-traditional.
10 shots, an AR-15, and one of the biggest music icons in the world sitting inside a trailer on her own property while bullets ripped through the walls. On March 8, 2026, someone drove up to Rihanna's Beverly Hills mansion in a white Tesla and opened fire in broad daylight. Rihanna, A$AP Rocky, their 3 children, and her mother were all on the property when the shots were fired. No one was hurt, but it was very close. Police quickly arrested a 35-year-old woman named Ivana Ortiz. They called it a case of an obsessed fan who lost control and said the case was closed. But not everyone believes that story. As soon as the news broke, old interview clips of Katt Williams started going viral. In those clips, he talked about how the music industry silences artists and how accidents are not always accidents. This made people ask a different question. Was this really just one random woman, or was there something bigger behind it? Before looking at theories, let's look at the facts. On March 8, 2026 in Beverly Hills, Ivana Ortiz, a 35-year-old speech therapist from Orlando, Florida, drove a white Tesla to Rihanna's mansion and fired up to 10 rounds from a semi-automatic rifle. This was not a warning. She fired directly at a family home in one of the richest areas in the country.
She's out of there. Pop star Rihanna is understandably freaked out. A woman was charged with attempted murder after cops say she shot at Rihanna's Beverly Hills mansion with an assault rifle. Now, Rihanna has reportedly fled Los Angeles over safety concerns.
The shooting here at Rihanna's mansion is a wake-up call for all celebrities who could potentially be targeted by obsessed fans who could easily find out where they live.
Security expert Kent Moyer.
Once people know where you live, what else is a celebrity to do? Are they supposed to move?
No. You can build layers of protection at the house and make sure that you have fence sensors and cameras with AI, cameras that maybe would identify whether the person has a weapon on them. The reality is you got to plan for all types of threats.
Here is the part that is shocking. Rihanna and A$AP Rocky were not inside the main house. They were inside an Airstream trailer in the driveway. That trailer is basically a metal box, and several bullets hit it directly. Authorities confirmed they were inside when the shooting started. Their children, RZA, Riot, and baby Rocky, were also on the property. Rihanna's mother was there too.
Shocking, scary moment for Rihanna on Sunday when somebody drove by her house, stopped, and fired 10 rounds inside, and she was there with her children.
With a rifle, by the way, firing with an assault rifle type of weapon, according to law enforcement sources, and that person is now in police custody, by the way, charged with attempted murder, or booked for attempted murder.
Which
at this
clearly
point
is.
Yes, a 35-year-old woman who, the bizarre thing, I mean, drives up to Rihanna's house, and a house, by the way, that she's had a lot of issues with people showing up there. But this person opens fire multiple times with this rifle. Thankfully, nobody in the home was injured.
And what's crazy about this whole thing is the woman that was arrested, they've now released her name to the public, and we've done some background digging on her. She has a past with law enforcement. She's been arrested for domestic violence, careless driving. Her current addresses show that she lives in the Orlando, Florida area. So there's nothing that's tying her
to
here.
LA.
So it makes you wonder, did she get on a plane and come here? Or did she drive this car that she was in front of the house from Florida? Her addresses are in Florida, in the Orlando area.
So Rihanna has had problems not just at this house, but I remember
Previous home also that she moved out of because of
a house in
multiple
Pacific
burglaries.
in Pacific Palisades, multiple burglaries, stalkers. I mean, this is, you know, she kind of embodies the conundrum of being a big celebrity, where there are, you know, both unstable people and people who are trying to score a quick payday, where they are just targets. And, you know, this was LAPD, and, you know, there is a special unit there for, you know, people, you know, who are stalkers, and where a celebrity can go to this high-profile unit. But they will tell you at this high-profile unit that they can only do so much.
Right.
That
if someone is mentally unstable, yes, they can try to stop, but you can't predict
what do you do?
What someone like that is going to do.
You get a restraining order, and these are the people who are least likely to obey a restraining order.
Right.
So, you know, you get a restraining order, and they go back and they do exactly what they've done before, and we see that over and over and over again. You talk about, you know, putting somebody under an involuntary psychiatric hold. That's 72
only,
hours.
Right.
It's a revolving door.
Right.
And even if they're convicted of, you know, trespassing or stalking, the way the jails are, especially in LA, they're so overcrowded that, you know, you will spend maybe 6 months, more likely 3 days.
I mean, look, we're in this just happened 24 hours ago, but if this becomes a situation where there's a plea deal accepted for one of those lesser charges you talked about, where someone gets out. They're in and out. But attempted murder is a very serious charge.
That's true.
And if they end up going forward and sticking to that as the charge, and this person is convicted of that, then you don't have the revolving door.
You're right. But the act itself is escalated to such a level that somebody could have died in that house.
Right.
Rihanna or her kids. So it has to reach that level for something to be handled in a way that can take somebody off the streets for any lengthy period of time.
You know, the new DA is not going to be one, I would think, to talk about a plea deal here.
No, I agree.
I just spoke to someone close to both of them, and I said, we've got to assume they're going to move now, that they're going to immediately put this house in the market, or they're at least not going to live in it anymore.
Right.
It's not even in a gated community. You can access, like this woman, you can, you know, most celebrities, they live behind a gated community that's protected by security. Yeah. This, you can drive right up and, you know, you're outside
What did they say about moving?
And they said, oh, I don't think they've gotten there yet. And I said, oh my gosh, they have to know.
The reality is
that they're not going to go back.
They have other homes,
right,
and they don't have to stay here.
Right.
But it would seem like you wouldn't want to after something like that happening.
Well, again, she is used to people violating the law to get at her or get at her things.
This is the first time, though, that I think certainly this level of crime has happened since they have 3 kids now. They have 3 young children at home. That changes the calculus.
Ortiz was found about 30 minutes later. A police helicopter spotted her Tesla in a mall parking lot about 7 miles away. She was arrested and charged with attempted murder, multiple counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm, and shooting at a home. Her bail was set at nearly $2 million. The media called her a lone, unstable fan and moved on, but people online started digging deeper.
A woman is now in custody, and she's being held on a $10 million bond.
Eyewitness News reporter Carlos Grande is live outside the singer's home in Beverly Glen with the very latest. Carlos?
Well, we now know the name of the suspect who allegedly shot into Rihanna's home. She is identified as 35-year-old Ivana Ortiz from Florida. And we also know Rihanna was at home when the gunfire started.
West LA unit, shooting just occurred. 10 gunshots fired from the vehicle. CPR believes the shots came from across the street of the upper gate. The PR does not have visual. No further. Additional 1921.
There you heard the police call saying the gunfire came from a car across the street. And today you can see the bullet holes on the gate that have been taped over. Police say there were multiple shots fired into the home, and we're told Rihanna was here, but nobody was hurt. Several rounds hit the outside of the home, as well as a vehicle parked out front. Sources say the weapon allegedly used was an AR-style gun. At least 2 other homes on the block also had bullet holes. Now, in the audio, police are also heard saying the suspect's Tesla was followed by an LAPD helicopter into a mall parking garage in Sherman Oaks, where she was pulled over and arrested by patrol units. Now, Rihanna has 3 children with her partner, rapper A$AP Rocky. It's unclear if he and the children were home at the time of the shooting. Investigators are even trying to determine the motive and whether the suspect even knew that Rihanna lived here. Now, as you said, the suspect is now booked for attempted murder. Bail has been set at more than $10 million.
New clues now in the assault rifle attack on Rihanna's mansion. As we're learning more about the woman police say opened fire on the Grammy winner's home. Eyewitness News reporter Liz Nagy live outside the Beverly Glen home with new revelations tonight. Liz.
Mark, tonight investigators are looking into new videos posted online long before they say Ivana Ortiz showed up here outside Rihanna's home with a gun. Now tonight, what investigators are really trying to figure out is if Ortiz traveled from her home in Orlando here to LA with the intention of shooting Rihanna or her home. Locked in an LA County jail for a second night on a multi-million-dollar bond, investigators are now digging into the criminal history and online musings of Ivana Ortiz, this Florida woman arrested and charged with trying to kill Rihanna. The R&B singer had apparently been on Ortiz's mind for some time.
Listen, Rihanna, when you die, God is taking me to my future. You want to kill me. Shut up.
Investigators are now looking at this rambling talk-to-camera video posted on January 4th and many others like it on Ortiz's social media profile.
No, Rihanna, no. You're not the eagle. They will soar high on wings like eagles. Rihanna wants to say that we are flying. That we are flying and we're not. She's not flying. She had a bad day. She looks really stupid and corny. And everyone knows it. But the way that they want to, that girl, the way that Rihanna wants to kill me, she's the one who wants to kill me. The way that Rihanna wants to kill me shows that we're not going to show this right now. But this is my heart, Lord, and I am expecting and waiting in that beautiful time for you to show me what you're going to do and how you're going to deliver this promise. It's in my heart and it's in my vitality, and I'm very, very grateful to you for your abundant graces. Listen, Rihanna, when you die, God is taking me to my future. You want to kill me. Shut the up, okay? Shut the up. Yeah, she's a witch. She's a witch. I'm a watchman. She's a witch. Get that stupid girl out of here. Okay? They can't do this. They can't do this. What about my hands? What about these fingers over here? What about these 3 fingers? What about it? What about it? No, you're not here. You're rebuked. And even if you're here, there are many in this realm. There are many in this realm, and you are rebuked, and Jesus is the King, and you're just kicking and screaming on your way out and perishing. It's embarrassing.
Ortiz had been posting about Rihanna for months. She called her a witch and accused her of stealing energy. She even held a 60-day prayer series on YouTube where she talked about spiritual battles and enemies. In one video, she said, "There is someone who wants to kill you," and then claimed that person was Rihanna. On Facebook, she tagged Rihanna directly and demanded a response. In December, she wrote that she was already done with her. She also mentioned Kim Kardashian in similar posts. At first, this looks like a typical celebrity stalker case. Many stars have faced this before, but then more details came out. Her estranged husband said that in January, more than a month before the shooting, she sent him an email asking him to reject Rihanna so that a door could be closed. This shows it was planned, not sudden.
You will be hearing who's losing money. In all of these situations, it's only the artist that's losing. Somebody makes big money. When these rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama, only got to see her once a year, and it's over. And the money goes up and up and up. So they killed this $20 million guy, but they reaped $60 million in benefits.
Wow.
And they had some people from your city do it.
Wow.
I'm saying there's the good side and the bad side of these businesses, and
but think about what you just think about what you just said. That's extremely thoughtful and powerful. It could only be what it was if it were those two.
This is where Katt Williams becomes part of the discussion. For years, he has talked about how the music industry works behind the scenes. Many people ignored him before, but after recent scandals, his words are getting more attention. In old interviews, he explained what he called the economics of removing artists. He said when big artists are taken out of the picture, someone at the top benefits. Contracts end, payments stop, but the brand continues. He also said these events are often made to look random, like a fan going too far or a tragic accident. He never directly mentioned Rihanna, but people are now connecting his ideas to this case.
Before shots were fired at Rihanna's house, the suspect had already been spiraling online, posting bizarre rants about Rihanna and other celebrities. Before I get into her weird past, let's briefly talk about what happened on this past Sunday at Rihanna's house. So it's March 8th, this past Sunday, around 1:15 p.m., and police receive a call about shots fired. This is the suspect, 35-year-old Ivana Ortiz. She's from Orlando. She decided to pull up to Rihanna's house in her Tesla. She gets out of her Tesla with an AR-15 and shoots 10 times at Rihanna's house. The bullets mainly hit the exterior walls and gates, so thankfully Rihanna and her children were safe. It's being rumored that A$AP Rocky was not there at the time. Ivana ends up pulling off after this entire incident, and she's found 8 miles away from Rihanna's home at a shopping center. She was booked on suspicion of attempted murder, and she's being held on a $10 million bail. But now, let's get into why this girl is honestly absolutely insane. Okay, so this post is from February 23rd from Ivana on Facebook. She tags Rihanna, okay, and bear with me because this makes absolutely zero sense. She said, "Are you there? Because I was waiting for your AIDS 5-head self to say something to me directly instead of sneaking around like you talking to me where I'm not at." What? Now I'm gonna show you guys this video where Ivana is directly talking to Cardi B.
You can't f with me, Cardi B. You're supposedly busy right now. But you know who has the cutest outfit tonight? You know who's the cutest tonight? I am. I'm the cutest tonight.
I'm not quite sure what connection she has to these celebrities, but I don't think she has a connection. She is taking parasocial to the next fucking level. And I'm still going. This girl still has some more shit. So this is from October of 2025. This is about a Billie Eilish concert. Okay, let me read this to y'all. Okay, hold on. In October of 2025, someone named Ivana Ortiz filed an emergency petition for temporary injunction relief against Live Nation, the city of Orlando, and the Kia Center related to a Billie Eilish concert, according to court records. In those documents, Ortiz alleged that she would suffer immediate and irreparable harm if Billie Eilish's concert proceeded due to noise concerns and traffic issues. She also expressed concern over whether a noise waiver had been filed. She asked the court to issue an injunction to stop the concert from happening. In one document, Ortiz said the amount of the claim would be worth $75,000 to $100,000. The court dismissed the claim weeks later. So something is genuinely wrong with homegirl. I don't know what her obsession with celebrities is. I'm not quite sure if she has a connection with celebrities. If any of you guys know her, went to school with her, have any more information on this girl, please.
Another detail people noticed is that Ivana Ortiz reportedly had a legal issue involving Live Nation, a major company connected to concerts and events. At the same time, the United States Department of Justice had a major case against Live Nation. This made some people wonder if there could be a bigger connection, especially since Rihanna is linked to major industry networks. There is no proof of this, but it added to the speculation.
The dispatch audio has been released.
And 8052, shooting just occurred. Approximately 10 shots heard and an unknown person shouting code 3 incident 1920 RD809, semi for additional.
8052, incident 1921. All units 8020 responding closely from Santa Monica and Sonar to.
Talk to you. Show us back.
8052, Roger. Other unit with the message repeat.
81 shows back from the station.
All units 81 back from the station.
Orthola units at 8028, 8028 additional. Your duty just occurred.
CPR believes the shots came from across the street of the upper gate. The PR does not have visual. No further is additional 1921. Westfield unit, shooting just occurred. This vehicle is a white Tesla, SU northbound on Coldwater. 10 gunshots fired from the vehicle to gate code 3. Incident 1932, RD809.
Air 10, can you find out the make of that Tesla? I'm sorry, the model.
Air 10, somebody. CBR, you on the line?
Number 2, passenger. For the description, the passenger was firing a gun. Additional on incident 1932.
Can you go to the model of the car?
Philadelphia 60, Roger. Westfield units responding to shooting just occurred. Suspect vehicle was a 2023 to 2024 Tesla 4-door with paper license plate, unknown model. Additional incident 1932. At 8:53, the suspect vehicle was last seen going southbound on Coldwater Canyon. Stand by, the peers attempting to check the camera footage for a license plate.
85, show code 100 on Sunset Coldwater.
85 to repeat your cross to Coldwater. Sorry, that's 85 to code 100, Sunset Coldwater.
Beverly Hills notified. 8110 license plate number on the Tesla.
CBR, are you on the line?
Stand by, the peers attempting to look at the camera footage for the license plate.
Our unit's position on the shooting just occurred. Suspect vehicle was last seen Coldwater Canyon. Additional on incident 1921.
02, it's going to be a Tesla Model 3, white in color. Stand by for the plate.
Air 10 will copy. We're in the area.
Air 10's in the area.
82 control southbound Coldwater. 7834, Roger.
All units position on the shooting just occurred. Suspect vehicle is a white Tesla Model 3 license plate. David Paul 38 Edward 1. David Paul 38 Edward 1. Last seen northbound from 1200 block of Benedict Canyon.
AZ1, that's just a possible.
Search impossible. Temporary plate. David Paul 38 Edward 1. David Paul 38 Edward 1.
85-9. I just spoke to the primary and it's going to be a verified. That's the plate and the vehicle traveling on Benedict northbound.
Okay, Brandon, Roger.
And it has been reported by the LAPD chief that 8 people were inside Rihanna's home when this incident happened. Like, how terrifying. And according to the LA Times, Rihanna, ASAP, and their 3 children were at home at the time of the incident. And they said that Rihanna and ASAP were actually inside an Airstream on their property that was struck. Yes. Now, a female suspect was taken into custody and has since come out that this suspect's name is Ivana Ortiz. She's a 35-year-old woman from Florida. Now, reportedly, Ivana fired on Rihanna's house from her car, a white Tesla parked right outside Rihanna's home. I already have questions here. When I saw the picture of the Airstream, I had a lot of questions. Okay, why was Rihanna and ASAP in the Airstream? I mean, it's a camper. It probably could have been doing anything. Could probably been taking a smoke break out there, you know, with the kids inside. That seems very feasible. But I was like, where is the Airstream parked? Airstream is parked actually in front of the house, is what it looks like from this photo. This woman drove her Tesla right up to the front, seemingly, allegedly, okay, all allegedly, took this and fired over and went straight through the Airstream and into the house. Stay with me here, because it's weird. This is weird.
So the question becomes, could someone be mentally unstable and still be used by others? Some believe that instead of creating attackers, systems may take advantage of people who are already struggling. Again, there is no confirmed evidence of this here, but it is part of what people are discussing.
Here to announce the charges that have been filed against Ivana Ortiz, a 35-year-old woman from Orlando, Florida, in connection with the case in which she has now been arraigned. And by the way, that arraignment date has now been continued to March 25th. The charges that have been filed against Ms. Ortiz include 1 count of attempted murder, 10 felony counts with a semi-automatic firearm, and 3 felony counts of shooting at an inhabited dwelling or camper. Any charges that have been filed, as I've said very often, are just that. They are not the evidence that we are presenting in court. That evidence will be presented in court at the appropriate time, at which point we intend to convict Ms. Ortiz of all the charges which have been leveled at this point beyond a reasonable doubt to either a judge or a jury. But summarizing the allegations that exist so far, on March 8th at approximately 1:20 p.m., Ms. Ortiz is accused of driving up to the residence of Rihanna, at which point she fires from her semi-automatic weapon multiple times at the residence. In that residence, Rihanna was there with her partner, her 3 children, her mother, and 2 staff people, representing 8 of the 10 of the counts of dealing with the semi-automatic arm. In addition, Ms. Ortiz is accused of firing at a neighboring residence that had 2 additional individuals. That is why there are 10 felony counts of a firearm. And there are 3 felony counts of inhabited dwellings. There are actually 2 dwellings at Rihanna's residence. There's a Airstream camper in which 2 individuals were located, as well as a house on that property. And then there was the neighboring property. That is why there are 3 felony counts of at an inhabited dwelling or camper. What happened after Ms. Ortiz at these various residences and people is that she then traveled through Beverly Hills, eventually ending up in Sherman Oaks. And then at that point, within hours, she was arrested.
Ivana's lawyer initially entered a plea of not guilty on her behalf, but then asked for her arraignment to be postponed until March 25th.
The Veterans Rights Center plea of not guilty, denying any and all special allegations, enhancements, or crimes?
Yes, ma'am.
The plea of not guilty is entered on behalf of your client.
Your Honor, this will actually be waiting time for arraignment plea for 2 weeks.
So you're requesting to...
Yes,
okay, so... To what date, I'm sorry?
We can get 2 weeks from today.
The not guilty plea entered by this court is withdrawn. Counsel requesting to waive time for arraignment plea to March 25th, 2026. Ms. Ortiz, you have the statutory and constitutional right to be arraigned today. Your counsel is requesting that your arraignment be continued to March 25th, 2026. Do you waive your right to a speedy arraignment so that your arraignment can be heard on March 25th, 2026? Yes. Is counsel joining the waiver?
So join.
The court finds that the defendant has made a knowing and intelligent waiver of her right to a speedy arraignment and that her counsel joins in that waiver.
Looking at Rihanna's career, she is not just a singer anymore. She has built a huge business empire with brands like Fenty Beauty and Savage X Fenty. She has power and independence. Some believe that in industries built on control, independence can be seen as a threat. People compare this to other artists who had conflicts with the industry, like Prince or Michael Jackson. Now, in this situation, bullets were fired at Rihanna's property while her family was there. Some see it as coincidence. Others are not so sure.
Meantime, we have this. An Orlando, Florida woman is being held on more than $10 million bail for allegedly shooting at singer Rihanna's home over the weekend.
Gigi Graciette is standing by with more on the suspect who faces attempted murder charges. Gigi, this is so scary, and it got even scarier when I saw those Facebook posts.
Here is what we know for sure. Ivana Ortiz drove to Rihanna's home and fired multiple shots. Rihanna, A$AP Rocky, and their family were there. Ortiz had a long history of posting about Rihanna. She has been arrested and is facing serious charges. What is not confirmed is any connection to a larger conspiracy. There is no solid proof of anyone else being involved.
I was trying to do something there that hadn't been done. I thought that I had figured out the algorithm mathematically, and I thought that I could show that. And when I wrote it out to kill the careers of the people I was talking about, right? But it was so vicious that I erased all of the knockout blows and just left the jabs so that the comic I'm talking about knows that I know your real story. I'm gonna tell this, but you know.
So where does that leave us? Rihanna is safe. Her family is safe. Ivana Ortiz is in custody. Police say there is no larger plot, and that may be true, but the case still raises questions. Did she act completely alone? Do all the details fit the simple story of one unstable fan? Maybe they do. Maybe this is just a tragic situation involving a troubled person. But in an industry where people often question what happens behind the scenes, some feel the story is not that simple. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you like this content, subscribe so you do not miss future videos.